Hello Scorpio, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing and subscribing. I hope you enjoy the insights here in this reading. It is a general reading, so take what works for you. It may also apply to someone that you are close to at this time. If you have strong influences in your birth chart associated with another sign, then please feel free to cross-watch for further insights. I have shuffled and laid out the cards. I deal with the 12 houses of the Zodiac. So as the cards appear in each house, then that is the influence that is appropriate for you at this time. In the first house, we have the earth element, which is stability. So the first house is everything to do with yourself, your physical appearance, your vitality, your personality, characteristics that other people can see, what you are projecting to others. It's your physical body, so how you look, and how you appear to others, and how you are perceived by others as well. It's also all self-oriented interests as well. So with the earth element appearing in there, this is bringing you, it's actually helping you to be really rooted and grounded. So it also brings in strength. So you either are feeling this way currently at the moment, you're feeling strong, you're feeling rooted and grounded, or you could be asked to bring that in, to actually anchor yourself and anchor your, how you are sort of making your way in the world on a daily basis. And it's also about being centered and practical, sort of displaying wisdom. And it's about building as well, building your self-confidence, building how you project yourself to others. In other words, you want to come across as self-assured and solid, methodical. It's also about being organized. So all of these characteristics are coming in. It's also, you may have to prove yourself in some way. So in doing that, then you may have to harness your stability and your strength. And ground yourself to actually give of your best in that instance. You could also be making very powerful connections at this time. So this is a very good thing because it's going to help you in all other areas of your life, particularly in your work sphere, or even just socially as well. So it could be a really great time to be making wonderful contacts, personal and also business related. So if you are perhaps projecting that you're self-assured, that you're methodical, and that you're organized, then that is going to attract that back to you as well. It's going to attract people who are going to appreciate that, and therefore you make a good contact. So also if you're having to prove yourself in some way, then that will also get, you'll be noticed somehow. It could also be the flip side of this as being a little bit too stubborn, almost like fear of letting go, and being over materialistic. And when you're overly materialistic, you're not really living in the present. You want all of these other things all the time. But in actual fact, what you need to do is keep your focus here, stay grounded, keep your feet on the ground, and not be afraid to grow and to change how you do things or how you have been doing things in the past, because that also may bring contact and may bring powerful connections to you as well. Then in the second house, we have Aquarius. I know the second house is everything to do with your income, your money coming in, and your earnings, and it's also about your possessions, your property, what you own, land, real estate, that sort of thing. It's also about your self-worth and your values, what you value. So with Aquarius, I know this is not an overly emotional sign. So it's all about looking ahead to the future. So you will have to stay present. As I said, even with this, your other card you had in your first house, you must stay present. Yes, you can bear in mind the future and be looking at futuristic trends, what's coming up, or it's possibly even technology, keeping up with what's going on. So you're keeping your eye on the future and developments there, but you need to be looking here as well. Stay present with everything that's going on in those areas of your life. So it could be a money issue, it could be money things coming that you need to sort out or you need to be thinking about. But it's also about being practical. And you can keep your eye on futuristic trends and see how things are going, and perhaps it's about what you want to purchase, where you want to put your money, and so on. You may be being exposed to futuristic ideals or people, and again, if you're making powerful connections, that could very well be helpful to you. Avoid emotional decisions when it comes to your money and what you own, and also about your values, because you don't want to get put on the spot for something like that. This card also may bring in surprises, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is all about surprises. You could be making very powerful alliances, or you may need to make good alliances to further your interests. So that's coming in again. So this is definitely a theme for you. It's also about trying new things. So if you are have fears about letting go and trying new things, this card is coming to challenge you on that. Because that's what Aquarius is all about, trying new things, and there's nothing mainstream about Aquarius. Aquarius is futuristic, it's tech, high tech, and it's being visionary, really. That's what it's about. So you need to harness that and bring that into your money house, and to your how you are setting your values and what you are, your possessions, and just your self-worth as well. So if you're stable and grounded and you feel self-assured, then you can tackle other issues. It may be work-related, or there could be issues about how you earn your income. You may be requiring to make a few changes there, or you may have a few surprises, and now you've got to deal with things. So, so these two are kind of going hand in hand here as well. Then in your third house, which is the house of communication, you have Venus, you have love in there. So what this is bringing in is you may be required to bring in some loving communication, or you may be having to communicate with others in your immediate circle. And this could be siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, that sort of thing. You may need to communicate with them in a loving way. Or it's just, maybe it's part of your work, and you need to spread a bit of that around. It's how you go about your communication. It's what you say. It's how you say it. Is it kind? Is it compassionate? All of those aspects come in on this. The third house covers all kinds of communication, whether it's written or verbal, body language, even social media, what you comment, and so on. So this is it's a very compassionate and loving sign, planet, and therefore you need to bring those aspects into your world of communication. How you say things, what you say, and is it kind? Is it compassionate? Is it going to be? Is it going to lift that person up? There's various ways that this can come out. You also may need to be required to be charming, because that's what Venus is, very charming. And there's also a seductive ability, sort of aspect coming in here. So you may be, if you have a significant other, you may be enjoying very seductive and loving communication between you. This card also brings in beauty and the arts. It's hair and beauty. It's everything to do with those, fashion, socializing, crafts, going out. There's a lot of social interaction with this. So while you're out there doing your thing and socializing with others, just be careful what you say, how you say it, and be aware of, mindful of your words. You may also be feeling quite attractive this time, or you may be emitting, sort of be quite attractive to others at the time, and you may be drawing in others to you, to communicate with you. And if that's the case, then this could benefit you, because it says here already that you're going to be possibly, making alliances with others, and it's powerful connections and so on. And Venus is about attraction, so you need to draw that to you as well, and you can do that while this is appearing in this particular part of your chart. This also covers, it's Venus is also about refinement. So it's also refinement of how you communicate. It's refinement of your artistic expression as well. So you could also be communicating on a bigger scale. This is with the public or with a wider group of people, or sort of outward to more than your local. This could be a much wider sort of circle that you have influence in. So again, bring in those loving aspects if you can, or just an element of refinement and artistic flair if you want to. This third house also covers short trips. This is short trips around and about, so you may be going to like a music concert or live music, bands, going to look at, sort of enjoy fashion outings, or crafts, going to like markets and fairs and things like that. And all those will be very beneficial for you. And again, while you're there, you may meet others. You may meet people who are beneficial to you in some way, or, it's all about connecting to others. Then in the fourth house, we have Grand Trine, which is blessings. So your fourth house is your house of home, and it's your home life. It's also your roots, your ethnic identity, and your foundations, where you came from. So with this card appearing in there, it's bringing in blessings for you, and it's all about harmony and flow. So you may just be feeling really in a good space in your home life, and with you're reconciled, or you're happy with how things are going for you at the moment. You feel content, and things are just flowing nicely. There's ease and grace there. You feel like you feel contented about how things are. Just don't take your hand off the wheel. Effort is still required to maintain this and to harness these blessings, and to actually keep yourself moving and flowing. So you can't sort of sit back and just let things sort of manifest around you. You do still have to exert some effort and actually show up as well. But it does indicate a very sort of happy, contented space at this time. Just trust in the flow. There's an element of completion as well about this. So you may have gone through a patch where you've perhaps been changing your home, or something in your home, or people in your home have been changing. Now you just feel settled and content. This is important because it does help you. If you're happy in your home and you feel good there, then that really does set you up in other areas of your life, and you can cope better. So this is something you need to maintain. You need to harness those blessings and really show your appreciation to those that do assist you in your home life as well. Then in your fifth house, we have Capricorn, I use. So the fifth house is all about children, whether it's your children or children that you're involved with. It's the house of creativity, so this is your creative side. However you bring that in, it could manifest, and you don't necessarily have to be creative as in arts and crafts and things like that. This can be, as I said, creative in your manner, in your wording, in the activities that you plan. You could be creative with your children. So it's creativity. It's also the house of love affairs. It's the house of all forms of recreation, having fun, and sporting activities in general. So with Capricorn, I use what this is asking you is, what are your objectives and your ambitions with regards to any one of those areas? So, you may, if it's to do with children, you may have ambitious ideals with regards to your children. Just be careful with that. You need to steer your children, yes, but you can't overshadow them with your wants and needs. So it's about working together. You may be needing to provide structure for them, some kind of framework which they can use to move forward. It's a sort of a stability for them. Teach them how to use their resources, because this is about using your resources. I use. So whatever that is. So it's harnessing your resources, putting them so using them in a structured way. You could be required to help your children in some way, or just to assist them. They could also be needing to develop goals and become systematic, or you could be. It's also about being diligent, applying yourself, hard work, and responsibility as well. And during all of this, gaining wisdom. So you could be gaining wisdom through helping your children, or they could be embarking on something, and you're now witnessing this in them, this sort of phase of life. If your children is not a focus for you, then it could be your creative side. It's about, as I said, harnessing your resources and making use of what is around you, and possibly helpful people. But just be careful with the I use section of it. As I said, you may be coming into contact with really powerful people or very helpful people to you. So honor them and honor what they're giving you, and then take what they are offering you and move forward with that. It could just be bringing structure into some creative project or something that you're required to sort of harness your creativity. It's about putting in a firm structure and building on solid ground for that. It's also there's a social element to this as well, just harnessing your wisdom, really. This is a slow-paced influence. This is not a quick turnaround. This could also be embarking on some sort of activity where you are required to be ambitious, whether it's a new activity you want to do, whether it's a sport or some kind of recreational activity that you want to take up. It's about approaching it in a solid way, methodical way, and as I said, using your resources yet again, and just going about it in a structured way. It could also be mountainous. Maybe there's some activities, mountain activities, whether it's hiking or walking or some other kind of activity. But you're going about it, you need to go about it in a structured manner. If this is to do with a love affair, it could be that you're attracting a Capricornian type person. As I said, they are structured, they're methodical, they're very ambitious, their social status is very important to them, very important. So who they know and what they know is important, and they like to have influential people. They like to have influential people around them, and they like to be moving up the ladder in socially as well. So you may be coming into contact with somebody like this. Or you may be already in a love affair, and this may become part of that. So there's a sort of an element of social status coming in there, and it's a slow pace. There's going to be no hectic, romance whirlwinds. There's going to be none of that. This is steady and steady progress, and step by step, putting the foundations into your relationship. Because if you want to make it more serious, then you've got to start with the love affair initially. As I said, you may have to look at your objectives with regards to that, and what are your ambitions with this person, or with the activities that you're undertaking together. This can also be games and activities like that. As I said, you may be sort of embarking on some sort of group activity, but it's to do with recreation and so on, and just to go about it in a structured way, and to be goal orientated as well. Then in the 6th house, you have Grand Cross, which is the provoker. So the 6th house, I would say, in your chart is probably the one that is requiring the most attention and focus, I would say, at this time. So you've got good home support, you're meeting good people, and you may be feeling fairly solid. But in your work environment. This is your workplace, your work colleagues. This is projects that you're working on. It's also mastery of your craft. So it's getting to becoming a master of what it is that you do. This is also to do with health and diet and pets as well. So now with this card, there's an element of frustration about this card, because you've got all these hard angles appearing there, and it creates tension, it creates frustration, and almost like it's resistance as well. So you're either meeting resistance or you're feeling resistance in your workplace. You may want to move at a much quicker pace and actually make changes and sort of really get to grips with things, but you're kind of hitting walls. And you may also be juggling many things and multitasking hectically, and actually just feeling like you're getting nowhere. You're doing all this, you're doing everything, and it's not bringing any results, or not bringing the results that you require. So you could also be having you may have many talents and many abilities, and it's a case of trying to home in on which ones are actually going to get you where you need to go. So, because you've got so much coming at you and so much going on, that it's difficult to actually juggle them all and actually make progress. You may feel at cross purposes with things, or cross purposes with others. There could also be some sort of crisis on the work front as well, but this it's not, yes, it won't feel great while you're in it, but it's a catalyst for change and growth. So that will propel you into changes and growth, whether you're going to change something or you decide to change something. But this is not impulsive. This is about taking stock, and it's about focus and about determination. So it's also about organizing yourself, organizing your environment. You may have to organize others, but it might just be a very, fairly stressful period during this change and growth phase. But there is renewal there. So once you've gone through the hard yards, there is renewal and there is change, and there are benefits coming out of it. It's just this initial phase. Things may feel fated as well. You may be in your work environment, or people that you're dealing with. You may just feel that like situations are fated, or the people are fated that you're involved with. But in any case, it is a catalyst to change and moving forward, and perhaps you need to communicate as well. Communicate what it is that you're driving at and what it is you want to say, or just speak up about what's going on. But it's also about having discipline. So you may just have to grit your teeth and get through it, get through the phase. And through the, juggle all those abilities, but it is about finding that point of focus for you, and perhaps sifting and sorting out the things that really, prioritizing and going with the things that are top priority, and then working your way down. But you are going to feel a bit. There could also be competition involved in what it is that you're doing, or competition in your work environment as well. So it might be a bit exasperating, but just stick with it, and just, as I said, be determined and focused on perhaps narrow down your choices and what it is that you're working on at this time. From a health and diet perspective, all of those apply. I mean, it might be something that you're grappling with and you want to change, or you may just feel really overwhelmed with everything that's going on. You will feel overwhelmed and just tired, possibly. So do your best to detach. Enjoy your home life, retreat to your home life, get all the nurturing and the comfort from that, and just detach and actually, look at things from an analytical point of view, and recharge your health. Do whatever you need to do to feel good, so that you can tackle all this multitasking and overwhelm that may be happening to you. Stay calm. Find an outlet for your frustrations, a healthy outlet, whether it's some kind of activity or sport, whether it's hiking, getting out, somewhere where you can exercise that frustration and actually deal with it. so that you don't bring it back into work again the next day. So there are various ways that you can, you can find which suit you to just detach and actually get a bit of clarity, so that when you go in the following day or the following week, that you have some idea, you've refreshed a little bit and regenerated yourself. Then here in the 7th house, we have water element, which is sensing. So you're a water sign, you know all about that. So this is really just reiterating the self, how you are at your deepest level, because the 7th house deals with your close personal relationships, your one-on-one relationships, and also business partnership. So it really is about, getting, really harnessing your intuition and your instincts, which is natural for you in any case. But it's about going with the flow as well. So there may be, as I said, there are a few difficulties going on in your work life, and it may be spilling over into your relationship. Perhaps you're just feeling stressed and down, and you don't want to be having trouble in your, your close one-on-one relationships as well. You want to just go with the flow. You may want to pick your battles, but you need to keep your hands on the wheel as well. Don't get carried away or allow yourself to be swept away. You do need to still be in control, but just go with the flow. And it's about harnessing deep feelings and compassion as well. And if you're in a bit of a lull period when it comes to relationships, just gain your strength, and harness your resources. Because there will be forward movement. This is just a period of gathering what you need to move forward. And whether that's just taking time out to rest, or just spending time with your significant other in a quiet place, perhaps going to water, spending time near water, just retreating a little bit. So privacy is going to be important for you and your significant other, or even for you and your business partnership. Just private time, just to gather your thoughts and your resources, and actually just to get your head around or around what's going on. But it really is about getting in touch with your feelings, your deep feelings, and gaining a bit of wisdom. There may be some secrets lurking. Water element can do that, can bring that in, but it really is about deep sensing and going with the flow for now. While you're dealing with other areas in your life, just go with it for now. Then in your 8th house, you have solar eclipse, which is revolution. So this is about shared resources between yourself and your significant other, or your business partnership. So this is about your deep emotion, your material and physical resources, emotional and material resources as well. It's the deeper commitment in a partnership when you join your resources together. So possibly something hasn't been working too well for you previously, or you need to readjust or look at things and make adjustments. So if you're sensing that adjustments need to be made, consult with your partner, come to some sort of agreement, and move forward to make those changes as quickly as you can. Because otherwise what will happen is things will bubble over and the changes will be made for you. And those always can be very unexpected and cause quite an upheaval. So if you're anticipating changes need to be made, then do the very best you can to move towards that. This house also, the 8th house, also covers big finance. So this is investments, insurance, tax, banking, accounting, all of those sorts of things, inheritance, legacies. So it's all of those aspects. It's also dealing with other people's money. So you may be in a profession where you're dealing with other people's money, or you're dealing with those where perhaps you're having to help someone else with their resources. But it's also, as I said, between you and your partner. So these are swift changes coming in, out with the old, in with the new. So with the changes, you may feel out of your comfort zone, and you will be pushed to fix or change something, or to create something better. So with that revolution, you could create something really amazing, actually. It could be revolutionary and propel you forward in many, many different directions. Or it could be a really swift upheaval, which causes you now to really assess how to move forward. But it always will propel you towards something better, but it's that initial phase of change which will feel very disorientating. And you will be pushed to make a decision, but it does involve making a new start of some kind. So yeah, you will just feel uncomfortable for a while, or during that initial phase while you're tinkering and changing things. Things will feel unfamiliar, but it is a rearrangement coming for you. So do all you can to make your own rearrangements and revolutionize how you're doing things. Otherwise, it will come for you and change it, whether you like it or not. So, yeah, just bear that in mind. Then in the 9th house, we have Libra, I balance. So Libra is all about partnership. In the 9th house, this is about... perhaps it does involve international travel. So this is long distance travel. It's also about adventure and exploration. But it does also bring in a great many other aspects, for instance, publishing, promotional work. And it can be about higher learning. So this is university education. This is adult education. It's also about... various aspects of religion, philosophy, your belief systems, which also comes into your education as well. And it's also a connection with foreign people or foreign countries or foreign cultures. So whether that comes in from your traveling, or you are busy in a business, or you're communicating with others foreign, from a foreign place, it's exposure to all of that. It's also about teaching. This is the house of teaching. So you may be involved in that in some way. Or, you may be involved in some kind of legal issue, because it does cover the law. It's the higher courts. It's also prophecy. So with Libra and I balance coming in there, literally that's what you've got to do. You've got to find balance. But it also may be that you need to unite with another in a partnership. So whether that you want to go on a trip, you want to go on some kind of journey, and it's, you link up with somebody else, it's going to be beneficial for you. It could also be exploring or going on an adventure where you're exposed to all kinds of artistic events, activities, concerts, museums, fashion shows. It's all of those things. It's artistic trips, artistic encounters as well, in artistic endeavors. You may be bringing a bit of romance in there, or you could just be, like, for instance, going to places which are highly romantic or known for their romantic affiliations, whether that's Paris or Italy or, Venice. There's lots of ways that can come in, but it's all going to be beneficial for you. But it could also be, as I said, balancing. So when it comes to all the other aspects, whether it's your higher education or a publishing endeavor that you want to go to, or promotional work, or just understanding your deeper beliefs, you may find it's worthwhile to explore that with another. But it's also about making a decision. So you may be required to make a decision in any one of those areas to move forward. It's also, the Libra card is all about negotiation as well, finding balance through negotiation or finding the middle path. So if you are contemplating a form of study and you're just not sure, you may need to thrash it out with another person, think about it, work out all the different aspects, or you may have to unite with another in some kind of group activity. It could also be that you're understanding the deeper concepts of religion and your belief systems, but it's also about finding balance, finding the middle path, no extremes here, and just understanding deeper issues. And it's also, as I said, it may just be exposure to all types of artistic situations as well, whether it's traveling to, but this is long distance travel, as I said, so it could be traveling to something that you always wanted to do, something that you've really wanted to, something that you would love to do. This is what it's about as well. Then in here in the 10th house we have Saturn, which is truth. So I feel this is linked to your work house, which we dealt with earlier, where you are experiencing perhaps some frustration and delays there, or some kind of issue. So Saturn comes in, and Saturn is the taskmaster. It's the authoritarian. It's the older mentor, or it could be a father figure, and it's authority figures. And this is about wisdom, maturity, responsibility. So this is coming into your house of career and your house of authority figures, but also your fame, your reputation, and your public status. So you need to understand what the rules are. You need to understand the rules about what it is you want to do and make them work for you. You may be feeling challenged at this time. You may be feeling restricted, that you want to do so much, but you simply can't at this point because you've got a curriculum or some specific path which you've got to follow. But Saturn is really all about helping you to make solid achievements. So aiming for things, so having goals and all of that, but not on lofty perspectives. These have got to be solid, grounded perspectives. Your foundation must be very strong. Otherwise, nothing will come of it. So you've really got to build that solid foundation. You've really got to put the work in to make it so that you can now build other things on top of that. It's about getting your foundation together and sorted out, and getting to the truth of things as well. What it is you really want, what it is that's going to drive you forward, and what it is that you need to put in place in order to give you those achievements. You may have a few home truths coming to you as well. Saturn doesn't mess around. It really is, the rose-tinted spectacles are gone. There's none of that there. There's also slow progress. Saturn is slow. It's about gaining wisdom. So it's the path to wisdom. So stick to your goals and your truth. You may just have to face a few things. But you also may have the benefit of a mentor or an authoritarian figure in your life. They may be a hard taskmaster as well, but through that you will actually learn a lot, and it will stand you in good stead later on in life. Or you could just be finding that your circumstances are requiring you to buckle down and deal with authority figures in a responsible manner. So there's quite a bit of that going on. So this is, there's a strong work focus here as well. Then in your coming over into your 11th house, which is kind of connected to this as well, because your 11th house covers all your networks, your groups that so you could be part of in a company which is part of a group. So it's all about that. It's your friendships, your networks, your groups, your clubs, and your associations. So now Virgo is a very discerning sign, very discerning. It's about critical thinking. It's about being disciplined. And it's also about attention to detail. That is Virgo's main forte, attention to detail, getting organized. And it's also writing may come into any one of those areas. You need to analyze what's working for you and what isn't. So if this is a kind of a declutter of your friendships or your networks or your people that you're associating with, you may have a bit of a declutter going on there. Or some people will just fall away. but it's discerning what is working for you and what isn't, and actually applying some critical thinking to that, analyzing the situation. You'll need to be conscientious within those group activities, or with your friendships as well. This house also covers your hopes and dreams and your interests and your hobbies. So again, it's about being discerning, detail, and getting organized. It could also be, the other side, the flip side of Virgo is criticism coming in, being picky. So either you may be experiencing that from others, or you may be bringing that to bear in your friendships or in your networks and groups. So it's fine to apply critical thinking and look at things from both sides and have your say. Just avoid being overly critical of others or of a situation that is going to be just too much, because you could come across as being like a nitpicker. Also, Virgos are inclined to worry as well. You could be coming across as a worrywart. You could also have friendships, or a friendship which is bringing this to your doorstep, where they are being critical of you, or picky, or overly worrisome about things, worrying about everything, and almost to the point of hypochondria about their health or about what's going on in their life, or you could be on the verge of that as well. It's over-analysis, analysis paralysis as well. So, it's about, it also may just be that your friendships are changing, or you may need to change some friendships because they're not aligned with you anymore. You're growing, you're changing, there may be things going on, you're communicating in a different way, you're being perceived. Okay, so to summarize for your 11th house, it's about getting organized and decluttering in whatever way that may be for you, and attention to detail. Then in the 12th house, the 12th house is everything to do with your unconscious self, your unconscious beliefs, and it's all about healing, mysticism, your spiritual life, your meditation, your solitude and reflection, and just time to retreat and withdraw, and to just assess, have a look at deeper issues within yourself, and just contemplate the world as well and how you relate to it. It's also, the 12th house also deals with escapism and various types of addiction. It's karmic inheritance as well. So with Mercury appearing in this house, with various other things going on in your life, you may just need to take some time out, enjoy a bit of distraction, and a little bit of bring some sense of humor in, and just try to direct your mental energy into more inspirational types of activities. You may also be enjoying various types of communication, whether this is writing or reading or learning. Just try and sort of kind of keep yourself focused on other areas, just to give yourself a little bit of a break. But it is a mental sign, a mental planet. It's ruled, it rules the mind and everything to do with the mind. So you could just be required to think things through in a little bit of time on your own, and to gain a bit of inspiration as well from whatever's going on, activities which are perhaps, as I say, mind related, reading up on things, learning a little bit about yourself, about what drives you, and learning new things. You may be required to be versatile and adaptable as well. This is in your approach to your life and your approach to your thinking, your attitudes, and your unconscious beliefs about things. So it requires a bit of clarity. You may also need to debate with others about things. You may need to sort of look at bring awareness to your deeper objectives, And as I said, but keep, try and keep it sort of light and bring in a sense of humor. And you may also be, there may be a bit of scandal going on. Something scandalous comes to, comes to your attention, something you see in others or something in your environment, or you could be in the center of it. But then something may come out, something is said. It could also be, you may be undergoing a few sort of psychological mind games with others, whether that's in your work environment or, there is the trickster element of Mercury as well. So there's a little bit of deception, whether that's self-deception or deception that you're seeing in others. The 12th house can also be your experience in various types of institutions. So whether this is, you at university or you're visiting a library or a bank or a government department or a hospital or a place of healing, or even a prison. So there's, it's your experiences there. So you may go with another who's going to go and experience something there, and you're just along for the ride, or you may just be there to give your input, or you could be going through that. But it also could just be a time to take some time out and just just do some other sort of activities where you can apply your mind away from other things that you're busy dealing with on a day-to-day basis. As I said, it could be research, it's learning something new, or just examining your unconscious beliefs about things, and just spending a bit of time assessing for yourself and understanding yourself on and how you are, your attitudes and beliefs in your greater world as well. Right, Scorpio, well, I hope you enjoyed that.